Good evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Madima. I hope you guys are keeping warm. It's cold in South Africa. It feels like winter reborn. This evening we're chatting to Irvette van Zyl, a running machine. Super excited for this one. We're gonna get going soon. Welcome to each and every one of you. LJ van Zyl, the legend is in the building. Tegofatso Nwahu, I see you. Beatrice, pace training, Tegofatso, Hinda, born again fit, Romano Domingo, welcome to you. Taylor Cavana, Andre van Niekerk, I see LJ van Zyl is saying, go Earth. Yeah, we're gonna have a good one. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to each and every one of you. I'm just gonna send her an invite and then we're gonna get going. Welcome, good evening. Remember, if you have any questions that you want to send, make sure to send them through to me and we're gonna take them. Sinesipo Dambile, the Kosa Bolt is in the building. Welcome. It's Liani saying the VSA was awesome. Virtual School Athletics. Thank you. Thanks for taking part in that. It was really fun. We have another one on the 29th of August, so we're gonna open up our entries. Kicks the high jumper. I see you, brother. Welcome. I'm just waiting for Irvette and then we're gonna go live. I see she's here. Good evening. Irvette. Hey, there we go. How are you doing? Good evening.
Yes, hello, Timba. Good, and yourself?
I'm good. You know, you're a professional athlete. You know, I see you wearing your NetBank clothing. You can see the sponsors. Nike's in the mix. Professional.
Fine, with the kid in the background watching tablet. So yeah.
No, it's good. Thanks for joining us this evening. It's really an honor. You know, I believe you're one of those runners in SA that, you know, your story needs to be told to as many people as possible. So yeah, we're gonna have a good one. Remember, it's a chat. It's not an interview. I'm not a journalist. It's just an easy chat, so it's gonna be fun.
Okay, no, thank you for having me, Timba. It's an honor for me to chat on Backtrack, and yeah, I'm happy to be here and chat with you tonight.
Absolutely. All right, let's jump in. So what we usually do before we get anything going, I'm gonna just do an introduction. That's so that South Africans who are watching can know exactly who we're dealing with here, who we're talking to, you know. So they mustn't think it's just some runner here. They must know exactly who you are. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening, we've got Irvette van Zyl. She is an Olympian, three-time World Junior Cross Country Championship finalist. She's the SA 5,000 meter champion, two times SA 10,000 meter champion. She was also SA under 18 1,500 meter champion, SA 10 kilometer champion, SA half marathon champion, World Half Marathon Championships finalist, and also London Marathon top 10 finisher. Ladies and gentlemen, Irvette van Zyl.
Thanks, Timba.
Well, it's quite some achievements that you've been able to bag, you know, in your career. I think there's still more to come. I mean, you still have a lot of time, especially if you look at long distance and so on, you know, in your legs. So always interested to see what's going to happen next, 2021.
Yeah, for sure. Because everything is about cancelled now. So yeah, definitely for next year. So yeah, it's been quite a complicated year this year. So yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. But yeah, we keep going, right? We keep going and we stay positive.
Yeah, it's all what we can do is just stay positive and do what we can in the situation we are right now. So it's just been tough with the kids, but at least they're back at school now, so it's a bit of a breezer now. So we're back in routine, so that helps.
Yeah, Gideon and Louis, yo, those guys are a handful. Especially if they're both at home, I'm sure it's it's war.
and you can just imagine how much they eat. They're not even teenagers yet, and they eat so much. So yeah, I'm cooking the whole time. When I just go sit and they just have food, when they're done, they ask, I'm hungry. So quite a hectic couple of months.
And then there's LJ on top of it. Yo, it's a lot.
Yeah, I know. He's my other son, so yeah.
I see LJ saying, Simba, let her tell you how hard she can train. She is a beast. Now we're gonna get into that, LJ. We're just getting started. We'll get into all of that. So first of all, before we get going, we have to play a game. It's called What's in the Bag. So you've got 30 seconds to name as many things as possible that you have in your competition bag. The record is 18. Let's go, Irvette. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Okay, my recovery shake, my energy drink before the race, energy gel to take during the race, and some dry clothes for after the race. Of course, I already got my racing kit on, so that's not in my bag. And my racing shoes is in my bag, and hair ties. I always have extra hair ties, and I always have roll-on. I have to have roll-on. And water, and
Time.
socks, extra socks.
Your time is up. 7.
I think LJ beat me too. I think he had more in his bag.
Yeah, LJ had way more. I thought you were gonna aim for 18, but you're on 7.
I don't have that much in my bag. I'm used to forgetting things, so I don't put that much in my bag that I don't forget everything.
No, it's all good. I think, middle distance, the long distance runners always want to travel light, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I always travel. I travel just with the carry-on. I never even put my luggage underneath the airplane. So yeah, it's always light.
Okay, Irvette, let's get started. There's a lot of questions I want to ask. I see people are going to ask questions as well. So if you have any questions, guys, or comments, make sure to put them here. I'm not the only one speaking to Irvette. We're all speaking to her. Welcome to USA Scholarships. I see you guys. Monique Stradom, welcome. Jazz Vermeulen, Jean Rousseau. A lot of people are going to be joining in and out, as we go. So yeah, we're going to keep it going. So the first question I want to ask, I think it's very important. Where did your running journey start? I mean, you came through the scene very young. I mean, I think one of the big highlights when you were still a young athlete, you ran at that, you won that Zeven Loop. I think it's in Netherlands, right?
Yes, it was, and I'm still the SA Junior record holder in the 15K. So, but not a lot of 15Ks is run in South Africa. I must just add that. But I actually didn't run a 15K after that. So
Wow.
my PB is still actually what I ran at age 15. So yeah, I still need to up that PB. I had ran past 15Ks in a half marathon, but never in a 15K race again.
Wow, that's interesting. So tell us about that race. I mean, how old were you at that time? I mean, you were still a bambino, and how did you even know, like, running? When did the running journey start? Let's just start there before we even come to this race.
Okay, so the running journey started actually at age 9. So I actually wanted to do something just to have my own medals, because my godmother started running, actually, Frances van Zyl. So running the year I was born. So maybe that was the direction I was supposed to go as well then. But and then when I was 5, we were there the day that she won the comrades. And I didn't actually know that it was that big. She just gave her medals, some of her medals to me, and I was like, but I want my own medal. So I started actually off in shot put. So wasn't being good at it. But I swear that's the thing that I could train the less at. So I opted shot put. And my arms look quite muscular, so I thought they were maybe strong, but that was false. They were not strong. So, and then I opted for high jump. I was okay in that, and then long jump, I sucked in that as well. So I didn't make team, so I had to do something to make the school team. So nobody wanted to run far, so I opted then to run far, and I won because nobody ran it. So yeah, and then it just started. Then I started winning medals, and I just started liking it because I was good at it. So yeah, and then it started from there. But then my mom didn't want me to train at a coach, so I had to train myself. That was really not a good idea because some days I didn't even train. So yeah, then I at last got in standard 6, and then she said, okay, when you turn 14, you can have a coach. So then I went to JP van Zyl, Ezekiel's coach, and Johan Botha's old coach. So yeah, and then I started training with all of them. So yeah, I was the youngest about in the group. So Johan and Ezekiel will probably tell you when we did long distance stuff like 4Ks, repeats of that, I used to chase them that I can just try and beat them. That was the only little girl could beat them and try and get close to them because the rest of the stuff they were so fast. So yeah, then the running journey just continued from there. But it was actually short-lived because when I was age 17, I was in quite a dramatic scooter accident. So then it halted quite a lot of my running career dreams. And yeah, from there on I had to, I got quite hurt in the accident. Luckily, I had a good helmet on, so I didn't get any brain damage, except sometimes I'm still forgetful, but that is not the scooter's accident's fault. It's just maybe age and a little bit of blondness. I don't know. But yeah, it was, I had my school dress on. I was on my way back writing exam to, I just finished still the day Afrikaans that we wrote instead at 9. And I was on my way home and just, I wasn't even 5 minutes away from the school. And then I had an accident right across the hospital. So yeah, I scraped all my skin on my thighs, and yeah, I cut open both my knees, bruised everything. I didn't break anything, but yeah, I ripped open my calf. There was nothing left of my calf. So yeah, it was quite a dramatic experience at 17 going through all that stuff. You're not even done with school, and you had a bright career, and everything just came tumbling down in a few minutes. So yeah, from there on I was 2 months that I couldn't move, just lay in bed. So yeah, I had a lot of going on when I still didn't even was out of school. So yeah, it was from there on that I didn't even know that I want to run anymore because it didn't seem possible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a story.
That was quite a hectic, let's say, into my school career.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, but I mean, they say you must finish with a bang, you know, and you did exactly that. It's a story that I didn't even, I never even knew about it. Which is, I think that's always a nice thing about, like, on BackChat, you get to hear like stories that, I mean, they don't always, you don't always get to hear about it. But I mean, it also goes to show your resilience, after coming back and still being able to run Olympics and world champs. And we'll get to all of that as well. I mean, I saw LJ was talking about some of your times. I mean, your marathon PB is 2 hours 31.26. That's fantastic. Half marathon, I've got a 1 hour 10 minutes 56, but I know there's another one.
That is actually the one I ran in New York, but they actually put it now as a 71 something else. That's actually the PB, but I don't know how this stuff works really. So yeah, I still got it as that PB. I ran it in New York half, so it was a legit race. But anyway, it was a long time ago. I need to update the PBs a bit. It's been it's just been hectic to try and run fast. When I'm in good shape, I'm pregnant. So yeah, it has been a it was. I don't know. So I was very fortunate every time when I got pregnant I could run. But it was just every time that the pregnancies happened, I was in good shape. And
wow. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you still have so many good running
just
years.
hold on. Louis. Hey, something. Louis. Alia, kom al net vir Louis. Louis. Sorry, he's he's listening something on the iPad. He's just going louder because I'm talking louder and he's thinking he can't hear.
Louder.
Doesn't like his mom's voice.
LJ,
Hello,
please control Louis there, please. Huh? On this base
Thank you.
Now you look after the kids, Italy. You can do. This is his office, but his office has a bed in it, so yeah, he's got a good office.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I mean that story already, like of you starting off young, and then at 17, like you said, high school, it seemed like you were never gonna run again. So run us through. Obviously, you were able to run again, and you were able to, I mean, achieve a lot of interesting feats. I mean, I think if we're to move a bit forward into post high school, how was that transition for you? I mean, we've got a lot of talented South African athletes who run very well in primary school, I mean, in high school, but then as they transition into university, it becomes a bit tough, I mean, it's part of growing up. How did you manage that space? I know it'll help somebody.
I didn't handle it very well. So yeah, I think they can maybe not make the same mistakes as I did. I think the freedom got to me. So from going from, yeah, it's especially for me, I had a really hectic couple of months after the accident and all that. I was really like a prisoner in our own house. So yeah, when I got the freedom again, yeah, I opted for going a bit wild. So yeah, I was not the greatest athlete on varsity. I didn't actually win anything actually on varsity. So yeah, it only lasted 2 years that I was on varsity, and then my mom took a bit of control and said I'm just going too wild, so I had to come back home. So yeah, because I was in a hostel close to the university, so I had a lot of freedom, and yeah, with a lot of freedom there comes a few bad choices. So yeah, I made a few bad choices there, and then yeah, in between I just didn't run well in that few years. I still ran, but it wasn't great because I enjoyed partying more. So, but I'm glad I did it then and not now, because I'm so out of partying. I don't want to do it ever again. So, but it was a time of my life that I had to do and experience everything and come over it and see what I really wanted to do. And it was actually in 2009, after my stepfather died, that I decided I surely must get serious about my life, because life is short and it can be taken away so quickly, because he died in a motorcycle accident. He and his son was on a trip the morning, and yeah, a taxi made a U-turn in front of him, and yeah, he got killed on the scene. So it was quite hectic and brutal to experience that whole thing. So after that, it was a very bad time. And yeah, it got me back together and realized that I still want to do what I got the talent for to do and do my best in it. And yeah, I started training harder and putting more commitment into the running, and really I wanted to be a professional runner just after that. So I was, I think, at age maybe 22 at that stage. Yeah, 22, 23,
Okay.
yeah, 22.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's sad, obviously, that these things do happen in life, but it's I find it interesting that for you used that, and that pretty much became your fuel. It became your motivation, kind of, in a way, to become the athlete that we knew. I think I'm sure, like, during that time everybody knew, like, Irvette is like one of those athletes. I mean, from a young age you were dubbed to be like one of the biggest or the best distance runners in the country. And to go through that difficult time, it must have been obviously like a challenge for you. And yeah, I mean, getting a tough wake up call like that, it's not the best way, but I mean, I think you used it in a good way, because you became better. And I'm sure even your stepfather will be proud to see the young Olympian girl who has ran all over the world and so on. So it's amazing. So let's move forward. 22 years old, now you decide, okay, I want to be professional. What's going on in your mind? Like, what type of switch did you have to hit in your mind? Because I mean, LJ said it, I've seen it, people know it. When you train, when you compete, you're a machine. You're like a bull terrier. You're aggressive and you don't wait for anybody. So what is the switch? What was going on in your mind when you turned 22 and that happened?
Yes, well, I opted to go train with Renee Colmer. So that was the decision that I made. So, and she was always a role model of mine growing up.
Okay.
She was always on the school records. Her name was always there. So I tried
Yeah.
always to break her records.
Did you get
So
any?
I was always thinking about training with her, but well, I actually started in 2007 already training with her, but yeah, I wasn't at the track. Then I got a lot of injuries, so I wasn't really there. So, but after 2009, I decided to commit and meet her for morning runs and be more committed for the long runs and do everything with her. So, yeah, she helped me a lot to just get through that time and just yeah, we are really good friends as well. So, yeah, it helped me and she was very supportive through that whole thing with my stepdad, and just yeah, she was great to train with, but she's a really hard competitor to train with.
Yeah.
And see someone competitive, she's like the ultimate competitiveness in training races. She's like, yeah, if you want to see someone really train hard, Renee could hit it quite hard. If there were times to hit, she would always go a second faster. She was really good at just nailing every session, and I was like always in the back just trying to hang on. So yeah, it was really a good time to train with her and just have a good eye opener of what it takes to train hard and do everything right and take your naps when you need them. And of course
Yeah.
LJ was at that time as well, so he was the one that always did everything right and did his gym early in the mornings, rested a lot, and yeah, so he was always there just like doing everything right. And I couldn't believe his career was just like he just had it looked like me had everything. So yeah, it was although I wished I was a could run shorter distances, but because he always called me a jogger, so he only changed his mind from that I'm just a jogger only when he stopped running in 2018 and he started doing longer stuff. So he realized this it's not that fun. So he realized I'm not just a jogger. So yeah,
Whoa.
it was I changed his mind that I'm not just a jogger. So yeah, but yeah, from there on we just trained hard and put in whatever I could to make the Olympic team in 2012. Of course, Renee was the top qualifier in 2012, and unfortunately, I was just really bad. I have really bad luck with injuries and the bad timing because me and Renee did all the training together. We were in good shape, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
I got a Achilles injury and yeah, could not finish the race on the day. But yeah, from there on, I had quite a bad critic from everyone that I mustn't be, or shouldn't have been on the team. And yeah, I didn't really know the seriousness of the injury, except
Yeah.
when we did it and a few training runs there, then it played up quite bad. So yeah, from there on, I was extremely gutted to know people's experience. Well, just the comments that I got from
Yeah.
my race and stuff. Pick yourself up from there again. You feel like so gutted, and yeah, you feel
Yeah.
like you put in good work. Nobody saw how hard you trained. You're not there to
Yeah.
take a holiday. So yeah, it was quite bad. And then unfortunately, in 2016, it repeated itself. So yeah, I had real bad luck with Olympics, but I wouldn't yeah, I learned a lot, but yeah, it was. I think I still got unfinished business a bit at Olympics, but yeah, I'm not whole yet. I'm still a bit scarred about the Olympics, but yeah, so it's been yeah, not that great actually for me. The experience that I
Yeah.
didn't experience a greater deal that everyone has. Yeah, about the Olympics, it's quite saddening for me actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's. I think of, when you talk about injuries and, Olympics, I always think of Joan van Deventer. I mean, he also had very, very, very tough challenges with injuries at World Champs or Olympics, and I think it's like you said, you learn a lot and you become, a better person, a better athlete. And I think you also realize why you do it. You do it because you love it and not because of what people say or whatever comments that they'll have. Because end of the day, athletics, I always say, people only see 5% of your life when you're running, whether it's a good race or a bad race. That's all they see. They don't see the 95 where you're running and you're throwing up and it's the tears and you're not sleeping and it's children and it's
Yeah.
the rest of your life nobody else sees, and people just see that short window which is showtime. And when it doesn't go well, it looks like you don't want it as bad. But it's life. There's a lot of things that are in there as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely the athletics gives you a thick skin. So, and yeah, definitely, it's really a lone sport. So I'm actually a bit of an introvert, actually. So I really struggle to talk to people. So yeah, but so it's really always uncomfortable for me when I really have to chat about these things. But I try my
Yeah.
best, and so yeah, and Aljo helped a lot for me to just get out of my shell a bit, because he always has a rule. So when we go to a place, I always have to talk to one person at least.
Yeah, at least.
So yeah, and he says if I can get that person's number, then it's good enough. So yeah, it's like not guys, just like
Yeah,
make a
yeah, yeah,
friend,
yeah.
basically.
Make a friend, yeah.
So yeah, I'm always like, and then we can go home. Otherwise, we can't go home if I don't make one friend. So yeah, it's always putting me in that awkward spot from coming out of my comfort zone. So yeah, it's but yeah, definitely athletics have learned me to have a thick skin, and yeah, it's difficult to, if you have bad comments about you and it's not going great and you're really feeling down, and then you get all the people going down on you. Like you said, they didn't see all the hard work, and you really worked hard for what you want to achieve, and it wasn't your planning, and you're just devastated when it doesn't happen. And yeah, and then you got some other drama that's going on, and you may have to just move on and go on. So yeah, it's athletics isn't always, it's like they see the one win and they don't see the other races that you broke your heart on and it was terrible, and
Yeah,
yeah, so you had to get over it, and yeah, nobody sees that part of the whole athletic game that's quite tough.
absolutely. I mean, I think that's why it's important, because you've got people that look up to you as a senior athlete. I see Nicole Lowe is in here. I saw Nix the runner. Where else did I see? Yeah, I keep on missing the people. Everybody comes in and out. I see. Cornell Fredericks is in the building. I see you, Cornell, as well as, yeah, there's a lot of people. I can't read every name, but yeah, Simone Vates, as I wanted to mention her as well. Obviously, they look up to you as an athlete that they would want to aspire to be. I mean, you've been at Olympics, you've been top 10 at the London Marathon. I mean, that's a big achievement. If you look at the field of competitors around the world, especially in the marathon, it's crazy. Let's talk about that moment. So, London, what is it? It's the London Marathon where you finished top 10. Tell us about that moment and that marathon. What was going in your mind? What type of shape were you in going into that?
Okay, so that was 2013 that I came top 10, and that was, yeah, that wasn't my last London Marathon. That was, I ran one after that as well. So that, I almost didn't go around the race. So, because I was struggling from 2012 with a problem in my left leg that went numb
Yeah.
and lost all control. So that actually happened just before London Marathon. Oh, not London Marathon, London 2012. So just
Mhm.
before the Olympics, that whole thing occurred. And I couldn't place what was wrong, and no doctor could. So yeah, after 2012 disaster of the Olympics, I knew if I go back, I could just redeem myself, not for everyone, just for myself. I could just make up for what was lost in the Olympics. It's not the same, but at least I'm
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the same country and can make up for it.
Yeah, of course.
Time wise, and just be better than that. Just run it time that I think I can run. So, but then we had two Oceans half marathon 2 weeks before that time, and I lost complete control of my leg in that race, and I didn't have a great race. I only ran a 75 on that route. So I told Renee still, I think I'm going to call it quits. I'm not going to run London Marathon. And she's like, just go there and just see what happens. So on that note, I was like, okay, you have nothing to lose. It can't be worse than 2012. So I'm just going at it. So yeah, I was feeling quite good until 25 Ks. Then I think I went out a bit too hard for the first 25, and then I hit a bit the wall. So yeah, I was still at 25. I was on I think a 2:26 pace, but it's still very early days. So you can a lot can happen the last few Ks. You can see when I finished 5 minutes slower. So I really died. But yeah, it was just an amazing race, and just the atmosphere, and a lot of girls dropped then off the pace that was the lead pack. So I caught a lot of girls. Although I was dying, there was others that was dying more than me. So yeah, I caught a lot of girls towards the end, and yeah, I didn't even think I was top 10 until the manager at that time came and told me I was top 10, and I thought it was like a joke that he just like said that I must feel better about the race, that I didn't hit the SIP 230, that he just came in. That was like the prize after that. You made top 10, so well done. So I was like, you're kidding me, right? So yeah, it was a great experience. And if you ever ran one of the majors before, especially London, the crowds is just amazing. So
yeah,
it's just amazing to be part of and just feel that vibe. So yeah, I will definitely want to go back again, because I ran into 2016 again. But then I was in better shape then. But for some reason I didn't run better. I only ran a 2:32, but at least that was the Olympic qualifier. But yeah, unfortunately I didn't have that race yet that I can run that SIP 230 that I thought I was in shape for now in a couple of years now. But unfortunately I didn't have it yet. But I can run fast on Soweto's route. So yeah, maybe that's a prediction that maybe I can run SIP 230 on Soweto.
yes. Soweto, I mean, let's talk about Soweto. Soweto is like it's become one of those races where it's like, were you born in Soweto or what's happening? It's like you've got a strong connection to Soweto. That race as well, talk about that race. I mean, you won it back to back as well, and you've run some fast times there. What's so special about Soweto Marathon?
So the first time I ran Soweto, I ran with a 20 rand in my crop top. So yeah, it was 2011. So I wanted to do my first marathon that the ice could just be broken, and I thought, Soweto, I'm going to try it. So yeah, nevertheless, I didn't know that hard. But anyway, when the gun went, I fell. So everyone ran over me. So it was like a stampede. And when I got up, I was so shattered, because now I'm so behind. I'm like in the back runners, and it's slow. Everyone's walking already. And now I'm running through and trying to catching up. And yeah, I ran way too fast the first half marathon, but I had like bleeding all over. My knee was bleeding. My hands were bleeding from the fall. And yeah, at 33 Ks, I was like, now it's hurting bad. And I didn't know the route. I didn't know what's coming. So at 38K, there was a massive hill, because then we did it different way around. So you ended up with really hills, but different hills that you get now at the beginning of the race. Now you get it, then you got it at the end. But so at 38, this taxi stops next to me. So I was like, and he opens the door. But that was not for me. That was for other passengers to climb in. So I was like, I'm climbing in this taxi. So I'm climbing in, but while I was like the last one in, everyone just shifted, because I was stinking really bad by this time. Now I'm 38 Ks in the race, so I'm really sweating, I'm wet. And everyone's just looking at me like, why are you climbing this taxi? You're so dirty. So, and I have water sachets in my crop top, and I'm taking them out, drinking them. So they're just looking at me, and the guy asked me, where am I going? I'm like, to the finish. He's like, okay. But they like, climb out. It's like 4 Ks to go. I'm like, I can't anymore. And at that stage, I think I was lying 5th. So yeah, I just decided I just can't. So yeah, I climbed in the taxi, and it took me longer to get to the finish. So yeah, because then because he didn't go to Nasrec, then he went to Orlando Stadium, and then he dropped me there, and then I had to take another taxi to Nazareth, and then they stopped like a kilometer away from the finish. So I had to get out because there was so much runners, I couldn't get closer. So that whole taxi drive that took a half an hour just cost me like R7.50. So when I got to Alja, my mom, they're like, we didn't see you finish. How was it? I'm like, here's your change. So yeah, then I took a taxi then. So yeah, that was the first time I had the experience of Soweto. So I was like, yeah, at that stage I was like, Soweto will see me never again. So then in 2016, when I had this bad experience at Olympics, I decided, okay, I need some redemption. So I'm in good shape, so I need some redemption. So I opted for Soweto. So, but then, yeah, I forgot about the route, how tough it is. So I really died with like 10 Ks to go. It really got tough, but I had to finish. I ran with no money that I can just finish. So, yeah. So whenever taxi stopped, I'm like, don't look at it, just run. Just run. Don't look at it, just run. So, yeah, I came third in 2016. Then I came third. But so a friend of mine were on the route with me. Yeah, he was cycling that day. So he told me, no, I can catch second place. But I was badly dying. It was really tough and the heels were brutal. And all that I'm saying to him, I don't care about second place, where's fourth? I just don't want fourth catching me. So yeah, from there on, I knew I wanted to come back and win the race. And yeah, in 2017, I came back and won the race. 6 weeks pregnant already. So yeah, I was already pregnant running Soweto Marathon. So that's why Gideon is like a freak of nature. He's like really, he can just run for days. So yeah, and then it just continued from there. 2018, I went back and won again in 2019 as well. So 2018, I was 5 months post that I had Gideon. So I was he was 5 months old, and yeah, going back and won that race as well. So yeah, it was quite a journey from there on.
Wow, that is an amazing. I've heard about the 20 Rand one. I knew that one. I didn't know that the taxi. Obviously, the taxi. You know, the taxi has to make detours, drop people there, pick up other people. It's not an Irvette van Zyl taxi. It's a taxi for everybody.
But they shifted me in the side of the taxi. They were like really disgusted with me. So I was like, they're on the side. Nobody wants to sit. If anyone climbs in, everyone just shifts. They're like, yeah. So it was yeah, it's not one of my proudest moments, but yeah, it happened. But I came back. I came back at least.
Now, I mean, again, like, respect to you. It shows like your character, you know, to come back and win it 3 times in a row. I mean, after such a bad first experience, you know, it shows. It says a lot about you. You had a bad experience in London. 2013, you went back to London to make it up. You had a bad experience in Soweto. You went back again to make it up. And I mean, I think that if that's the story of the type of person you are, and I think it definitely represents you well, because you know, sometimes when you meet fear, we want to run away from fear, but the best way to overcome it is to go rewrite the story until you are more happy with it, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. They say it's never over until the fat lady sings or it's something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you can't have a race do over, but you can go back the next year and try again.
Come
If
on,
you don't try, you will never know. So yeah.
I like that. I like that. All right, we're gonna need to wrap it up soon. I see Louis Dot says you're a legend. Who's this one way? What is it? One way Wayne said he ran with Renee Kalmer, and it's not easy to. She's not easy to run with, and that was your training partner. You said, yeah.
You're Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. We were long training partners. I think for 8 years. Yeah, we were training partners.
John Kuna says, love watching you run, Irvette. Really cool. See, I'm just reading a few nice comments that were sent to you.
Are they ugly
ones? All right, that's that. Okay, but yeah, final question.
Yes.
A message to the young athletes. What message would they have for young athletes? You know, super talented, They've done well at a young age, or they've got potential to do well. What advice would you have for them? I mean, it is Women's Month. I should have actually opened up with that. Young ladies, what advice would you have for them, who want to be a professional athlete like yourself?
I think just try and enjoy it because
Yeah,
yeah, you never know how fortunate you are just to run. So after every injury and yeah, surgery I had, just to come back is a blessing on its own. And I always
yeah,
say, God will decide when you have to stop. So
yeah.
yeah, it's basically just enjoy your passion and never lose the love of it because you're really fortunate to do something that you love.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Like it's so nice because every time I speak to like the athletes who have been in the scene from a young age all the way up to senior, I think it's nice to hear that all of them are talking about love. You need to love it, because I think sometimes you can get so caught up in make money and see the world and take off as much goals as you can, but end of the day, it's all about waking up every morning and wanting to do it, and wanting to be better and loving the journey and the sport itself.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's we're really fortunate if you can go out and be healthy and run. So yeah, it's not always easy. I'm not saying it's easy, and I have also my days that I feel I don't want to get out of bed and run. But yeah, it's just to be able to do it. It's yeah, it's and just the places you see when you run, like you would like when we still used to go on tours in Africa and stuff. Yes, I have rough stories to tell of places we went to, especially Angola. I was really young and we went to Angola and it was really bad. But yeah, it's really bad stories. But out of the bad stories, there was always good times that came
Yeah,
out of it. So, yeah, it's all the countries you can travel and see the different experiences and yeah, just realize and you're always so happy to get back to your own house and your own country. There's
yeah.
nothing better than your own country. So
No
yeah,
place
it's
like home.
definitely yeah, and it's the weather we have and everything is just amazing. It's I don't think um everyone knows how fortunate we am to train in the conditions we have. So yeah, it's really
Yeah,
nice to be South African and really proud of it.
absolutely. Irvette, thanks so much for joining us this evening. You have a lot of interesting, funny stories. I really enjoyed those. And yeah, but from Backtrack side, like keep shining. I wanted to get into some of your sessions, but I think we ran out of time because I know you put in some very. I think some of the people in here won't be able to train with you, most of them. But hopefully we'll be able to get into that some other day. But yeah, from Backtrack side, keep shining. Keep working hard, keep running, keep the love for running. I see you've made LJ fall in love with distance running as well, which is good stuff. Uh, once that
He's
bug
got a
bites
love-hate
you,
relationship.
yeah, absolutely. So thanks a lot, Irvette. We'll chat soon, but thanks for your time and yeah, have a good one. Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
Temba.
All right,
Thanks.
take care.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You too.
that was Irvette van Zyl, a running sensation. Still a lot to come and a lot to see from her in the future. So keep a lookout for her. Thanks for watching, guys. LJ van Zyl. Thanks for watching as well. And each and every one of you are on here. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Kicks the high jumper. We need to bring a jumper up soon. We'll be chatting to you in a while. Tineka Kluter, I see you. Thanks for joining. Cornell Fredericks, we've got a date, brother. We're gonna see you soon as well. But thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good one. For me, Tema Madima, hashtag Diary of a Vendor, hashtag Nda. Good night.